What's up everybody, my name is Adam and welcome to the channel. Now we're doing something a little different. This is actually my first Clash Royale video. I just downloaded Clash Royale a week ago and I gotta tell you, I'm addicted. I can't stop playing this. I play at any chance that I possibly can get. I got the Royale Pass. I just can't stop playing. I love the game. I'm like really into it right now. It's bringing out my competitive side. And so I decided to make a video because a lot of competitive games that I've played has taught me one thing. In order to improve, you actually have to re-watch your videos. You have to re-watch your games, your matches, everything. And the reason being is because even if you do a good match, you can still learn something and improve on getting better for future matches. So currently in a week's time, I'm at 1,964 trophies. According to royalapi.com, which is a fantastic site that you guys should use, it'll tell you the order of the chests that you're gonna be receiving. It'll tell you all your stats, everything. It's actually really cool if you guys haven't already checked it out. But according to that, I have played 112 games. Of those 112 games, I have won 84 games and I've lost 20. I have an 80.769% win rate. And of those 84 wins, 78 of them were 3 crown wins. So I've been doing pretty well. And I've been using the same deck this entire time. I actually haven't really switched up my deck except for a few things. Like I misplaced, or I replaced something with a cannon when I got the cannon. I actually replaced the wizard when I got the wizard. But for the most part, this deck has really been the same. You know, I think it works out pretty well. So what's gonna happen in this video is I'm actually gonna go over about 4 videos. One I lost, a couple that were really kind of on the fence, one I did really well on. I'm gonna explain my thought process through each of these matches, and I'm going to tell you why I did things, what went well. I'm gonna talk to myself about what I could have improved upon, and hopefully the goal of this is to not only make myself improve, but if you guys are going to use this deck, then hopefully it makes you improve, hopefully it makes you a better player, or maybe me talking out loud helps you kind of fix your own matches or improve your own things. I don't know. The goal is to grow together. All right. My goal is to obviously make it to like top stuff. Like obviously I'm in it, man. I'm invested. I'm really going for it. And hopefully you guys can grow with me and we can kind of feed off each other. Comment down below. Let me know what your trophy levels are. Like I'm really going for it, guys. So we're going to get right on into it. I'm going to explain the deck and then I'm going to explain what I did, like I said. So before we get into it, I actually have a mega lightning chest that I've been waiting to open on stream. So I'm actually really excited to do that. But before we get into that, I have a couple of disclaimers. I purchased the Clash Royale. Personally, I'm not a huge spender, but I thought that I heard from a bunch of people, everyone kept on telling me that the Clash Royale is actually really worth it and it really does help you grow. And to be honest with you, I have seen a huge amount of growth just by getting the Clash Royale. But that doesn't mean that this deck is good because of the Clash Royale. I truly believe that this deck is good, free to play, pay to win, do whatever you want. It's a really good deck in my opinion. What works for me will not or might not work for you. What I mean by that is just because I find this deck good and I've been working really well with this deck, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna like it. That doesn't mean that you might do well with it. You know, everyone has their own tastes and battle style. Everyone has their own way of doing things. You know, I'm hoping that you like my deck and maybe you give it a try, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you will. And, you know, that's okay. I just, you know, maybe we help each other out, but yeah, I mean, you might not like it, all right? Just letting you know. I'm very aware that this deck isn't gonna last forever, all right? It's doing really well for me right now, but eventually, obviously, once I start getting into really high arenas, it's not gonna do well. I'm gonna have to figure out something else. So that's where I'm gonna grow. We're gonna continue to watch all these videos. I'm gonna post a lot more, and then hopefully I can really see a growth and improvement in my game style there too. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep on using this deck until it fails. So, I mean, it's been doing really well for me now, and I'm going to keep on doing it until it really doesn't work out very well. And even in Arena 6, almost Arena 7, I've been doing pretty good. I'm not an experienced player. I haven't been playing this for a really long time. I've only been playing for a week, and like I said, I got really into it. I've done a ton of research. I've done a whole bunch of stuff. So my game style and everything has been pretty good. And honestly, I'm gonna say it, like I feel like I'm doing pretty decent. So like my road so far with the week's play with 110 games, like I said, I have an 80% win streak. So let's get right on into it. Let's open this chest and let's get into the replays. Right here, you can actually see on my war card that I have 1,964 trophies. I would really like to get more of the witch. Baby dragon's really cool too. I really want the knight. I'm gonna level up the knight as much as I can. Anything that I use, wizard, all that kind of stuff, I would really like to have those. So let's go ahead, let's open this chest. Okay, so we got 12,000 gold, which is really cool. Got 89, oh my God, 89 wild cards, that's really good. 29 mortars, that's whatever, I don't really care. There we go. All right, we're really close to leveling up our knight again, which is awesome. 64 bombers, I don't really care about that. 224 minions. That's useful. I mean, I use the minions, so that's actually really good, but I wasn't really, oh gosh. And this is all gonna be one epic. Witches, 17 witches, that's actually sick. I love that. All right, so this is a really good chest right here. I am really happy with this. I'm really, really happy with this. Actually, can I hit a strike? I can strike. What if I struck this? Ah, that sucked. Whatever. What if I struck this guy over here? Nope, that sucks. All right, let's keep striking. I'm gonna strike to see if I can get something a lot better. What about mortars? I don't really need mortars. That's an electric. Okay, we have one strike left. I'm gonna strike this and see if I can get something good. All right, whatever. We still got minions, we still got knight, and we still got witches. So that's actually not so bad. I'm really happy with this. Anyways, let's get right on into it. So as you can see, this is my deck. I have it on the side here. So we're actually gonna start off with a video that I think I did really well on. And it also goes to show, so first of all, this is a video that I think I did really, really well on, but it also goes to show that patience is really important. Just because you lose something, just because something isn't really going your way at the beginning doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give up, and it doesn't mean that you lost this match. And I learned that pretty recently, but I think it's gonna go really, really well. So you can really turn things around unexpectedly. So don't give up and like actually just like play and keep confidence. So here we go. So right off the bat, they dropped a giant and a P.E.K.K.A. or mini P.E.K.K.A. I really wasn't expecting that. So I kind of just panicked and I threw my fireball down. They also did the bomber, which kind of also really threw me off because I really wasn't expecting that. Again, at the very beginning, I really wasn't expecting him to throw down stuff like right off the bat. So it did throw me off and I did panic a little. It brought my tower down to 378, but you know, I kind of collected myself. I was like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. Let's just keep it going. So the wizard came and I accepted the fact that I was going to lose my tower. So I was just like, you know what? Like wizards and goblins, that's down. But I have my giant. Let's just kind of focus on that because I think that what he's going to do is primarily focus on the last thing there. So I threw down my mini P.E.K.K.A. and my wizard, which is the huge trio. This is what I usually always look out for, is just those three. Once I gained enough elixir, I threw down my minions to get rid of the giant. And then at this point, we're just too strong. I threw some archers down for reinforcement, but like, we're going to take this tower down pretty quickly, pretty fast. They ran out of mana, and at that point, I knew that they wouldn't be able to catch up. So that was my thing. I think what I could have done better in this match particularly is that in the beginning, I really panicked. Again, like I said, I thought I wasn't expecting them to throw down their people like so quickly. So I was panicking at first. I was throwing down a bunch of stuff just so that I can protect the tower. But then after I realized, you know what, like they can actually take the tower as long as I have a really solid group going, which is giant, wizard, mini P.E.K.K.A. Those three are incredible together, and those are what you really want to do. So as you saw from the beginning, I actually put my giant at the very back. What that does is the giant is really slow. So he actually, by the time he gets to the bridge, you have basically a full thing of mana again. And then you can throw down both your wizard and your mini P.E.K.K.A. and then basically just have those three out. So you're really committing, you're just making it so that you can stall a little bit longer, wait for the giant to reach halfway, and then throw down more things because you saved that mana. So that's a really good tactic. I'm also not a believer in wasting mana. I know some people will say, you know, don't make the first move and that's fine. That's not really my play style. I actually like to throw something down while the mana is almost at 10, only because if you're holding mana, then you're really just keeping that mana there. You're never really supplying an endless supply of mana. So like if you throw something down, that means you're constantly growing mana. You're constantly throwing things down. If you just keep 10 mana, in my opinion, then you're going to throw whatever you throw down, but you still have to wait for that mana to come back up. So I personally like the way to spend the mana so that you can keep on continuing to grow the mana, and I think that that just works out really well for me. So we just saw someone that I actually did really well, and I panicked a little bit, but that's fine. Now we're going to watch one that I almost gave up. I really was like, you know what? This isn't going to work out. I actually was like, you know, I think it's a wipe. Like I didn't win this one, and I actually came back and I won the entire thing. It was a 3-1, which resulted in a win for me, which was awesome. So here we go. So I'm trying to remember what they did. I threw down my knight because I didn't see my giant. So I was like, you know what? My giant's not there, but my knight is the next best thing. It's tanky. It's tough. It's really good. What happened was I saw, you know, their mini P.E.K.K.A go down, so I threw down my mini P.E.K.K.A and my wizard on the other side. I kind of stalled out their P.E.K.K.A for a little bit just so that I can gain a little bit of mana again. I threw down my minions, and then this is the problem. This is where like things start to go a little obviously rough for me. I misplaced the cannon, and I didn't have enough mana for their baby dragon and for their splash damage right there. So that screwed me up because they were aerial attacks and I didn't have any way to deal with their aerial attacks. So they had their baby dragon and they had Hog Rider come down. But then I thought to myself, you know what, like these two towers can actually take down. This was actually where I was going to give up. But then I thought to myself, you know what, like Hog Rider's going to go down. That's fine. They brought their Valkyrie. They're really going to stick to getting this tower, the third tower, the 3 stars. They dropped their bomber, but they dropped their bomber, in my opinion, they dropped it in a really bad place, so we were able to get rid of it. I have my evolved wizard and my mini P.E.K.K.A now, so I mean, this mini P.E.K.K.A that is hitting my giant isn't really going to do much damage. I throw down my minions. I'm going for a full frontal attack now in hopes to like do something. My wizard thankfully like locked on to their minions before it locked onto the tower, and I think that helped me out a lot. Threw my knight down just for some extra attack, and they had no mana at this time. So again, like I said, when you're calm, cool, collected, like when you figure something out and you think that they're just investing all their mana, they can't really do anything to counter your thing. So when I realized that they were going all out on my tower, but my tower can actually defend itself, I was like, all right, I'm going to invest in my entire thing. And then I ended up taking 3 stars and winning this pretty easily because they couldn't invest so much mana anymore. They also had some really high, you know, demanding people. So like they couldn't throw down their P.E.K.K.A anymore because that wouldn't help them. So after knowing their deck, I was like, you know what, I actually have a chance. And I'm glad that I didn't give up because it resulted in a win. So next thing I actually have is a really close game. Like really, really, really close game. I really feel like I could have done something differently. And well, I mean, I definitely could have done a lot of things differently in this game. So why don't we just kind of take a look? I won in like with a fireball. Like I fireballed their king tower. That was all I did. And I got really lucky. So we're gonna siphon this thing. I won 3-2. It was in overtime. It was actually really crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this. I think it was overtime. So they dropped their minions pretty quickly, so I dropped a cannon. I figured that the cannon obviously is going to redirect these people, but I threw a fireball down because I was like, okay, like I'm not doing enough damage, which maybe I shouldn't have thrown the fireball down. I don't know if that was really the best play. But this mini P.E.K.K.A goes down, and the problem with that is I didn't realize he was going to drop a wizard. So he took out my minions very quickly, and then I got rid of their wizard, but this guy took me out, and honestly, it just kind of really messed me up. So at this point, I don't really do anything to counter that. But then they dropped these guys again, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for my giant. I'm going to maybe let them take over this tower. I kind of gave up on defending that because at that point, I was like, I'm playing too much defense. I really have to play offense at some point. So they threw off like a bunch of skeletons and everything. I threw my wizard down just to get them down. Then I threw my knight down and some minions just to kind of go for it. We got rid of stuff, but he got rid of my wizard. But we were able to take this tower, which was good. So tower is gone. We're going now for the king tower. I dropped my mini P.E.K.K.A. in hopes that I would actually like do something. So that was good. They dropped their bomber, but like my minions aren't really gonna like, they're not gonna do it. So I threw down a fireball. My mini P.E.K.K.A. is doing some damage right now. If I had one more hit, I easily would have won that right there, and I would have gotten a 3-star, and it would have been over. But unfortunately, my mini P.E.K.K.A. just went kind of down. So right now, we're kind of playing at this whole thing. So I put the cannon down with my wizards just to do some splash damage. They have their mini P.E.K.K.A. down, which is actually kind of scary because I'm like now really scourging for elixir. But we dropped the archers down just to kind of stall. My wizard is going on the other direction, which sucked because like I can't really do anything about that, but I was actually able to do that. And I was like, you know what? They don't really have that much HP left. I'm throwing my fireball down, you know? It brought him down to 60. And at that point, I was like, just defend. Defend as much as you can to cycle through the cards, bring back the fireball, and then throw the fireball as quickly as possible. So this guy's investing in everything. I think he knows what, or they know what I'm trying to do. So I throw down, I was able to defend. Here's my fireball, and I throw that fireball as quickly as possible, and I end up winning from the skin of my teeth. But I definitely could have done some things differently. I think that it was messy. I think I could have played it a little bit better, but you know, my actions, you know, allowed this person to take both of my towers down, and that kind of sucked. But I still was able to make it, but I don't think I really deserved that win. But it was good. I mean, like I still learned, you know, I was panicking, but it still worked. And this is a loss. This was just bad. So this was a loss. This kind of sucked. They immediately dropped these two, and I was like, bro, what the hell? So I threw my archers down, but it's splash damage. At that point, that's done. So splash damage is ruined. Like, my archers are already halfway dead. I threw my knight down, and they have skeleton army, which my archers take down most of it. I don't know why I threw my minions down. I don't think I really needed to, but I did. They have the barbarian army, which also sucks. But at that point, this is my mistake, I think. Instead of throwing a fireball down, I actually was like, you know what, I think I can actually go on offense. So I threw my giant down. I'm waiting for the elixir to come back. I actually severely underestimated the barbarian army. I let them do their damage, and I focused on me doing my thing. And by the time I realize it, he drops down mini P.E.K.K.A. and witch, and I can't defend. I can't do anything there. So this sucks, and the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the witch really took it down. So I took a tower down, but the mini P.E.K.K.A. did work. And instead of doing that, I ignored that. I didn't realize that they were going to full send it like that. And I underestimated the barbarians, and that sucks. So learning something like that was good. So I saw barbarian army. I really should have threw down the fireball. I think that would have helped. And then with the fireball, it's only 4 elixir. I think I could have still dropped my giant after that. I could have taken their tower and still had all 3 of my towers at that point. Maybe if the game kind of went the way that I'm thinking. Some matches were in Arena 5. Some matches were in Arena 6. I'm almost to Arena 7. So of course I'm going to showcase some of these things. I'm going to keep on making videos of this deck. And again, like I said, I'm going to use this deck until it really doesn't work. I don't know when that's going to be, but as of right now, it's doing a really good job, and it's leading me to Arena 7. So if you guys liked this, let me know. I'll definitely showcase more. I think that it's, again, really important to watch your own battles and just kind of talk it through. You know, like even rewatching it now and filming this and talking it through with everyone that's watching, if there's anyone watching, I learned a lot, you know, just rewatching my thing. So this makes me a better player, and I'm going to continue to reach for the top and kind of climb these towers and climb everything. So hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did like it, if you did enjoy it, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to kind of see differently. Maybe there's something that you would have liked to see more, or like maybe I could showcase something different. Or if you have questions about this deck, you know, comment down below. Seriously, like I don't mind. And if you decide to use this deck, I really hope that you enjoy it. I really do. It got me through literally like arenas 1 through 6, and it got me through 0 trophies all the way to almost 2,000. So, and climbing. So it's not even done yet. So like I said, we still got a ways to go, and I'm really excited to keep using this deck. I think it's really fun, and I think I do really good on it. So Thank you all for watching. Enjoy and have a great rest of your day.